Hey everybody, Justin Cena here. We're going to be talking about living inside your niche, and this is kind of a prerequisite to getting started with your targeting. And the idea of living inside the niche is really all about kind of becoming an expert in your niche. And you don't need to be a 10,000 hour expert or anything like that, but it's going to make your job a lot easier when you're going out to actually set up your ads, source products, and create the targeting that's going to drive the marketing for your business. It would be super helpful for you if you actually understand a little bit about the niche. So it would be great if you kind of come in with some existing knowledge or maybe a passion about the niche that you're doing. Maybe going back to that nurse example, maybe you're a nurse and you really want to sell products to other nurses, and of course, you being a nurse, you kind of speak the language. Now that's not going to be the case all the time, and that's okay. Basically what we want to find in terms of products or in terms of services or whatever you're going to sell, bottom line is we want to make money. So it doesn't matter if you have a pre-existing knowledge about the niche or not. You can kind of replicate that very quickly, and this is how you do it. So it's all about just kind of spending some time browsing the web. We're not talking about any crazy websites or anything. The normal places: Google, Pinterest, eBay, Amazon. You want to put yourself in your ideal customer's shoes. You want to develop their mindset, and you want to kind of browse the web just like they would. You want to see what they're seeing, and what you want to look out for is things like themes, products, messaging, colors. Anything that will give you a better understanding of where your customer goes online, what they do when they're online, potentially what they're buying online. And this goes a long way towards your branding. You don't want to be off-brand. You don't want to be, you don't want to be in a niche where we're seeing, some consistency in terms of color schemes or in terms of messaging. You want to be able to insert yourself directly into a position where you could be a brand leader. So this research will really go a long way in terms of you kind of figuring out what is kind of what is quote unquote normal for the niche, what is accepted, and kind of what is going to make your ideal customer feel at home when they visit your site and when they look at your ads. So this is super important. This is definitely more of an art than a science. So I think the best way to really go about this is let's just do a live example. Let's just go over the shoulder real quick, and we will talk about living inside the niche. Okay, so we are over the shoulder now talking about living inside the niche. And I just pulled up a couple of websites here. We have Google, Pinterest, eBay, Amazon. I don't exactly know what I'm looking for. It's definitely not a science. It's more of an art. We're just going to be kind of going through and seeing what comes up. We want to identify, themes, products that we come across, messaging, colors, logos, anything that will give us a better understanding of where our customer goes online. So let's keep going with the nurse niche. And, again, we're just going to start with the most simple term. I'm just going to search nurse and see kind of what comes up here. So obviously we have things about degrees, on the education side of things. I'm sure we'll come across that. These sites always interest me, just these kind of, what are these just generic community sites, nurse.com, nursingworld.org, Discover Nursing, some labor statistics. That might be helpful for us. We could take a look at some of the news, And I just opened up these, sites in new tabs. I've never been to these sites before. I'm just kind of want to see, what's going on. What am I seeing here? In terms of colors, in terms of logo, in terms of messaging. Talking obviously a lot about education and courses that are required. So maybe I'm thinking about the different ways that people search out information in the nursing space. I'm trying to kind of get a sense of what people are doing, what people are looking for. So we saw right here. Certification, again, so more about testing, test prep. What else is here? Case management, daily news. We could maybe even subscribe to a newsletter and see what gets sent out. Another site, Nursing World. This one is seems to be more informational. Maybe we want to spend a couple minutes actually taking a look at some of the different types of nurses here. We have nurse practitioner and nurse midwife, and guess what? These are all going to help us kind of figure out what interests we should go after, because maybe you didn't even know that a nurse midwife existed. Or a CNS, a clinical nurse specialist. Maybe you didn't know that existed. Well, now you do. You certainly don't need to be a nursing expert to get to selling nurse products. We do this research, just spending a couple of minutes, kind of seeing what's out there. How to become a nurse, the nursing process. Maybe these are going to be good resources to read. Again, just to familiarize yourself with the niche and kind of let yourself learn a little bit of the inside things with the goal of being able to kind of speak the language. So when you're doing your marketing, you're doing your ad copy, you're doing your product descriptions, you're kind of able to tap into what what these people already care about. So again, you're not trying to become an expert overnight. You just want to be looking through. So just kind of going to more sites that I found on Google. Maybe I want to read some of these nursing notes and just kind of see what comes up, and read a couple of blog posts. Here's another thing great to always keep your eyes open, right? So we want to talk about building interest groups. We're going to cover that a little bit later in this section. But here's a great interest group idea: conventions. Maybe there's going to be a lot of nursing conventions out there. This one is the 2016 National Student Nurses Association Annual Convention. Maybe there's 5, 10, 15 conventions that you could use to target your products. You think if someone is engaging with a nursing convention page on Facebook, do you think that they're going to be a really relevant person to advertise to in the nursing niche? Of course. I mean, people don't go to nursing niches just for having something to do on Saturday afternoon. They're going there for a reason. So keep your eyes open. This is exactly what we're looking for. Different little things that we're going to be able to go and search out. You saw the video on basic research. Now we're kind of just getting more specific ideas in terms of what we want to be researching for how we're going to target our customers. So just clicking through here, here's some information, kind of good to put yourself in the mindset of your niche. This is the average pay for 2014. This is the average pay per hour. Most of your people have, or most of the people in this niche have a bachelor's degree. There's 2.75 million jobs in 2014, so that tells you a great deal about how many people you might be able to reach in this niche. That doesn't even include people who are searching for jobs, training for jobs, in school to become a nurse, retired nurses. There's going to be tons and tons of nurses to reach, so that's a good sign. Maybe we want to read more on pay and job outlook, and kind of where they're actually based in terms of states. You could do all that. For the interest of time on this video, I'm just going to show you kind of here is just one of the ways that we search for data, and this is just on Google, and this is just on one term on the first page. So you can imagine spending a couple hours kind of figuring out, who exactly is your ideal customer. So even look at Google Images. Again, just for color scheme's sake, we're seeing blues. A lot of light blues. The scrubs that they're wearing. Maybe some symbols you want to go along with. Maybe adding symbols on your ads, or you're already thinking about designing a product. Looking at symbols. So this research is invaluable. Definitely don't skimp on it. Again, this was just on the first page of Google. We found all this. So let's go into Pinterest real quick. See if I can log out of this. All right, we'll just log in real quick. Okay. So, we'll just see nurses. See what comes up here. So, we got a lot of shirts here, as you could imagine, and that's that's kind of the typical product that you see kind of being promoted almost on any niche. Everyone has had success on T-shirts, and they post them up on Pinterest, and Pinterest is definitely a great area to kind of expand traffic for T-shirt related products, obviously because they are just so visual. But anyway, let's take a look at what's out here. We're looking for color schemes, we're looking for themes, we're looking for products. Obviously, the T-shirts we've seen. Here this might lead us to some more sites. The New Nurse's Guide to Paging a Great Doctor. It's might be an interesting read. Here's some infographics that we might want to take a look at and just kind of see the different types of terminology that nurses are kind of seeing on a daily basis. Maybe things like this will help us also figure out more interests to target. So again, just kind of scrolling through here, looking at colors, looking at themes, trying to pick out anything that's going to be helpful. Same thing on eBay. Just search nurse, see what comes up. We got a brooch clip, so we're already kind of talking about product research now. We're seeing what's out there, what's selling. Well, we're on eBay, and we know that 312 people have bought this brooch clip watch, and 489 people have bought this brooch quartz hanging pocket watch, and 50 people have bought this one. So within 5 seconds, I've already figured out a potential product that I might want to offer on my store, because there's been over 800 people who have bought this product. About 850 people who've bought this type of product. Here's another grouping. So clearly that's a popular product. This is a good sign of showing us what people buy. So we just keep scrolling through. We're seeing a lot of the same theme here. and a lot of different styles. So you could imagine having a store filled with different types of brooch watches, and here's another 250 sold. So you know that they are definitely a popular item. Not so sure if this fits into the niche, but again, we're just kind of scrolling through. Here's another example of a T-shirt. Give you some ideas of what's selling, color schemes. I guess here's a Super Nurse T-shirt. Another funny nurse T-shirt, more of these brooch watches. So you already get an idea of kind of what's working. Here's a funny sign that you might want to sell. 105 people bought it. I mean, that's a pretty nice number. So scroll through here, more shirts, more watches, etc., etc. We have 10, 50, 100 pages worth of nurse stuff. So you're going to check that out here. I don't care what your niche is. If it's cats, put in cats. If it's soccer mom, put in soccer mom. Whatever your niche is, we want to just find different products that are working. And this is kind of that live inside the niche idea. We want to figure out some themes and some colors and some messaging. We just want to familiarize ourselves as best as possible. So last but not least, we'll go to Amazon, type in nurse, see what's up there. Here's an interesting product. This would definitely be a pretty funny gift for nurses. These syringe pins, and how about these heartbeat socks? I mean, you could easily see a nurse kind of wearing that. Here's a mug. Mugs do pretty well. So here's a funny prescription mug. So you can see some funny products in here. Some different types of products that are potentially going to resonate. Here's that brooch watch again. So scroll through here. You have tons and tons of data on all these areas. Goal for you in this is spend an hour, spend 2-3 hours, and just familiarize yourself as best as possible in the niche. You're not going to become an expert, but the best you can shoot for is at least be able to kind of speak fluently inside the niche.